know how we do it. You know how we do it. Do it, do it, do it, do it, do it. Wow. You know how we do it. You know how we do it. You know how we do it. Do it, do it, do it, do it, do it. Wow. You know how we do it. You know.
Before we get into today's video, I'd just like to clarify. This video is in no way meant to hate on KonekoKitten. I doubt he would ever see this, and even if he did, due to the heavy subject matter of this video, I doubt that he'd want to drag it out anymore or talk about it. However, I believe there are a few things that have happened with him that should be talked about, since being popular on Roblox seems to exempt you from any form of criticism, constructive or not. I'd like to counteract this by saying things that other people are refusing to say, things that are true and deserve a conversation. In this video, I'll be discussing many mature and controversial topics, so I highly suggest that if you find these offensive, or are coming into this video with the mindset that I'm simply here to bash Koneko and make him look bad, with my 1600 subscribers, you're entirely wrong. This video won't change your mind about anything. However, if you want a completely objective look at the events that have unfolded in recent months, paired with unbiased commentary and feedback, please do stick around for this video. I appreciate all the support that you've shown me, and I genuinely hope that this video gets somewhere, to someone, or anyone who is willing and able to make a positive change in the culture of this community. Without further ado, let's get right into the topic.
Ready?
To understand where I'm coming from in this video, let's take a look back at the one and only experience I've had with Koneko when it comes to predatory online behavior. Here's a clip from my previous video on Trusty Trust providing some context to this situation. All these screenshots are verifiably real, have not been deleted, and are still on Twitter for you to personally look at and explore for yourself. To sum it up, Trusty Trust, an extremely famous Roblox UGC creator, was caught flirting pretty heavily with an underage boy who was 16. At the time that Trusty Trust was 20. He got off with little to no scrutiny. Very few people even bothered pointing out how the interactions between this adult and child could be interpreted as inappropriate or alarming, and the majority of his fan base actually encouraged this. His explanation was that it was all a big inside joke and that the fans were in on it and loved it, hence why they were all shipping a grown man and a child, or making constant remarks about the two being in a romantic relationship. Here's the snippet, y'all. To any sane person, these conversations were flirting, jokes or not. It seems as though no one was actively laughing at these jokes or found them funny as they claimed to. To say that these jokes were a fan favorite may be altogether unleading. As a matter of fact, it seems like fans' reactions were coming more from the 12-year-old K-pop stan spamming random letters part of Twitter than the fans enjoying banter between two creators part of Twitter, with one fan even shipping these two in a romantic relationship. For context, those screenshots that I showed you are only the beginning, but let's keep in mind that Trusty Trust and KonekoKitten are good friends, as they interact often on Twitter and constantly banter back and forth. It's obvious Koneko was well informed about this situation regarding Trusty Trust and had a platform to speak up, or maybe even talk some sense into him. But what did he do instead? Say that anyone accusing Trusty Trust of doing the things that he literally did in public is entitled. Here are the tweets. Notice how Koneko says "you of all people," insinuating that Trusty Trust is somehow the last person on the platform that should be accused of sexualizing minors. Yes, it was clearly all just some big joke, hilarious, especially when you resort to bringing up Romeo and Juliet laws, just in case people interpreted you talking about dating a 15-year-old in public as not a joke. Despite the fact that having a name drop Romeo and Juliet laws as an out literally insinuates that the relationship is sexual. There is a lot of flirting and talk of dating between Trusty Trust and this minor, all of which I'm almost positive that KonekoKitten, a drama commentary YouTuber, was well aware of, but he chose not to speak up, and this is why I believe he did it. Today, KonekoKitten came out on Twitter and essentially said that he, a 20-year-old, had been steady dating a 16-year-old. What follows is a series of excuses that had no place covering a topic as heavy as this. First of all, I'd just like to clarify that he did in fact know her age. This is a grown man dating a high school sophomore or junior, mind you. He says in the document that he thought that it was not legal. It's almost as if a quick Google search can in fact show you whether it's legal or not. Any adult with a shred of common sense would know this. More so, if the first thing that goes through your head when you're dating someone is, I think this isn't illegal, I genuinely believe that you are lying to yourself. He brings up an excellent point that relationships between minors and adults can, and I quote, cause adults to have power dynamics over others, and this is why people are worried, and he is entirely correct. However, in the very next line, he says, this wasn't present in the relationship. Call me crazy, but I'd imagine that KonekoKitten, the guy who didn't know that dating a 16-year-old as a 20-year-old could be considered immoral, could recognize a power dynamic if it did exist in his relationship with said 16-year-old. While he is correct that it is not technically illegal for them to date, allow me to quote a psychology student on the topic of minors dating adults. Despite there only being a 4-year age difference, the difference in maturity and mental development is like decades. A 16-year-old is not independent, they are still unsure about their identity, their place in the world, their values and beliefs, and above all else, themselves. They are still in high school, have little responsibility, and look at the world in a fairly immature way. A 20-year-old is often independent or on the way to becoming independent. They are more confident in themselves and their future, they are either in a higher education system that lacks the strict structure of high school, or they're working. Either way, they have taken on responsibilities that a 16-year-old would not be offered, particularly wants to have. When a 16-year-old teenager is involved with a 20-year-old adult, you get one person who is unsure about the world physically, mentally, and emotionally, more immature and more naive and trusting, and another who is not, and therefore able to manipulate the other easily. Relationships that involve a clear difference in age and maturity cause for an unequal balance of power, with one side using age to explain why they're right and the other must be wrong. I'm 20 and I know more, and you're 16 and know less, therefore I am right and you are not. If you are young, do not trust someone who tells you that you are mature for your age, that age is just a number, and what matters and what's inside matters more. You are a child, and the person speaking to you is an adult who knows fully what they're saying and doing. They aren't interested in you because you're different and special, they're interested in you because you're easy to manipulate. Always be safe and always make sure you can trust whoever you involve yourself with. If people are telling you they're too old for you, it's probably because they are. He mentions multiple times that he hadn't dated anyone for 5 years, as if this has any bearing on his moral compass or decision-making ability. He claims multiple times that he was naive, meaning that he does concede that what just happened was immoral and quite possibly illegal, and he claims that he's called out people responsible for grooming and helped get them off the platform, but continues to enable people like Trusty Trust, who can openly flirt and talk about dating 15-year-olds who admittedly have a crush on him, according to numerous tweets literally saying that they do. This whole document that he posted in my eyes is a non-apology and really doesn't address the root of the issue. Him simply saying that it was wrong instead of making the excuse, I didn't know, I thought it was okay, she was a friend, I hadn't dated anyone for a while, would have gone a lot further than giving your audience of hundreds of thousands of kids the mindset that mistakes happen, like dating a 16-year-old as a grown man for an extended period of time. This isn't a mistake. This decision was made consciously, and no amount of pleading ignorance will free you from responsibility. So in conclusion, I think that KonekoKitten has not only not really taken responsibility for what he's done, but has covered for other people that have done the exact same thing, but to a worse extent. Things that he himself has condemned as being bad. But, you know, given that he's a huge creator and has a giant fan base, I'm guessing that this isn't going to get out to anybody, and if it does, it's just going to get completely shut down. I'm hoping that the people who do see it, though, are understanding and realize where I'm coming from. So, thank you guys for watching, and I'll catch you later, Bilderberg.